Got some great phones here. Well, first of all, thanks for coming out. It's kind of interesting to be starting football here in March, especially when we'll be able to get the pads. But exciting, good to get going, and like I said, appreciate the turnout. We got a lot of work to do, a long way to go, and just kind of getting to know the team here. We did a lot of off-season conditioning, and the teams responded well to that. So we've been able to work through practices, or through our first practice, pretty cleanly. But we'll see how that goes here as we start stacking them together. But as far as evaluations and things like that, got a long way to go, and we'll take a look at everybody and see how things shape up, and just take it as it comes day by day. No big expectations here other than to go out and get better every day, improve on the things that we didn't do as well yesterday, add in some new things today, and just keep stacking those days together over a consistent period of time, basically all spring, and we'll see where we are at that point. So good to get out on the field, good to get going, and I think the players are excited to actually. We haven't been able to use footballs, right? But now we can actually get a football out there and starting to look like football. Go ahead.
Aaron? Yeah. Aaron here with the AP. You guys, you've been around college-age kids when they were rookies or draftees, but a lot of the guys you worked with were seasoned pros, understood what you wanted in terms of how you work as a pro. With what you and Michael have described about how you want to run this team and this program, kind of what have those messages been like in conversations with the team individually about what you're trying to build here, and what's been the response?
Thanks for the question. The response has been great. It's similar to like what a rookie mini camp would be, and time with the rookies. Granted, those kids are a little bit older, but they're coming from all different programs and different situations, and so. It's starting to put everything together. Here's how we do things. Here's what our expectations are. This is what you need to do to be successful, and they've embraced that. They've tried to do it. Again, we have a long way to go. We haven't accomplished anything, but we're a lot further along than we were five weeks ago, and the players are ready to practice and ready to learn and embrace a new program. So, getting there.
Bill, Pat 40 from Sports Illustrated. I'm wondering, schematically, you spent a year kind of looking at the college game. How much can be transferred from what you did done at the NFL to here, and how much has to be different?
There's a lot of carryover for sure. Certainly, the fundamentals are fundamentals. Man coverage is man coverage, and double team blocks are double team blocks, and things like that. So there's a lot there, but. The hash marks are a big change, and just say the overall skill level. In the NFL, there's some pretty elite players, and especially the passing game. So we'll see what that looks like, both offensively and defending it. But fundamentally, it's pretty close. There'll definitely be some changes, but you know what? We'll see what those are once I get a better feel for what our personnel is, what they can do. We want to play to the strengths of our players, and that's what we'll do. So it probably takes a little while to figure that out, but nevertheless, we'll run a pro system on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. So that's what the foundation of it is, and all the training films that we've shown them on how to do things, how to do certain techniques, how to run certain things are really from NFL players, the guys who are great at it, the guys who did it better than anybody. So I think that's still a great way to teach, because our players are seeing some of the best guys that have ever played do what they do. So it's a good teaching basis.
Andrew Jones, Star Illustrated. The quarterback, we've got 3 young scholarships here this spring. One of them is Max Johnson, who had a terrible injury last year. We were told there was a chance maybe he might not be able to play football again. Where is he in his recovery process? How much can he go this spring? And I know you have a 4th one coming in. Are you settled in the quarterback room, or you think maybe you might have to go out and find someone in the spring for him?
Yeah, well, right now we're focused on the players that are here, and then whatever happens with the players coming in or portal players, we'll deal with all that later. Max has worked hard. Max is making a lot of progress. He's still limited, but he's definitely getting better, and we'll just take it day by day. But he's nobody's put in more work than he has, and we'll see where that takes him. But he's definitely making progress. So again, just the day-by-day process. If he has a good day, then he can do a little bit more the next day, and if he has a good day, he can do a little bit more the day after that. And if there's a little, I'm gonna say it doesn't move along quite as quickly, then we'll slow it down until we can progress.
Is there a specific goal, date maybe in mind?
No, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, all injuries are kind of the same like that. If a player can progress, we'll progress him. If he, kind of hits a little bit of a stalemate, then we'll, work through that. And then when he's ready to go again, then we'll go again and move to higher ground. But it doesn't matter really whether it's a hamstring, a shoulder, a leg, whatever. It's kind of the same process. If they can move along, we move them. Some move faster than others, depending on what the injury is. And sometimes we hit a little pause, and then we have to wait until we can, move ahead. So it's day by day.
Coach, Evan Abramson's spectrum, there's one. I know there's only been one practice, but is there, other than the age or maybe the size, something noticeably different between players out on the field for you and on your team now and guys who've seen the NFL, and building on top of that, do you have to treat these people differently than how you did in the NFL in terms of getting them, motivating them, coaching them, treating them in general?
Well, we'll see. I don't think so, but as you said, we've only had one practice, so it's a long journey. There's a lot of work to be done, and there'll be a lot of practices and a lot of meetings, and a lot of hard work put in. We'll see how all that goes. But players have responded well. They seem generally excited and enthused to be playing football, which anybody would be after you put in a lot of several weeks of training. It's time to get out there and finally play. But yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. I say the biggest difference is just the opportunity to put on pads in the spring. As I said, when I was in Washington last year, the amount of progress and improvement that those players made in the spring was, I thought, remarkable. We just couldn't do that in the National Football League because we never got the pads, especially for the big guys. Route running and things like that, the skill players can do skill stuff, but for the offensive, defensive linemen, pass rushers, pass protectors, some of the contact positions, which, is very limited in the NFL in the spring. I mean, it's almost, there isn't any. You can work on those things. You can work on the running game. It's really hard to work on the running game in the National Football League when you're in shorts. So I think those players that we had last year, that I worked with last year at Washington, made a lot of progress, and hopefully we can do the same thing here.
You talked about using this time to, with ESPN. You talked about using the time you've had so far to try to get to know the team and the players. How good of a feel do you think you have for the personnel that you have right now? And do you expect, by the end of spring, maybe a bunch of people leave because, hey, this wasn't really for me, and you want to go out and get some more people coming in? How do you kind of anticipate roster management?
Yeah, I really don't have any expectations. We'll see. I don't know. We'll go out there and do what we do and see what happens, see how it goes. So I think what you're saying could or could not happen. I really, that'll be up to each individual and just, how things go. But, I know we have a good plan. I know we can, do the right things to help the players improve, help the team improve, put a good product on the field. Everybody that can help us and buys into it and wants to be part of it will be part of it that's here. And if they don't, then that's that's their decision.
Bill, our chance to EWCH already, new to us, new to the world, but new to us. Can you explain how you get the staff ready for practice in terms of meetings, and then what do you actually do during the practice?
Well, spring practice is a little bit different than practice in the fall, but let's talk about spring practice. We have a general outline of what we want to try to do over the spring, so that the offense and the defense can work together, so that the things the offense is working on, the defense is ready for, and vice versa. That we can evaluate. Most important thing for us right now is just to evaluate the players. Other than Freddie being last year, none of us really, have any familiarity with the players, what they can do, and what their skills are. We certainly want to be able to take advantage of those. So, we want to put in the foundations and of all the fundamentals that we'll use that'll carry us through the year, and that's the main thing, and then to evaluate the players. So each practice is structured so that we can work productively together on offense and defense, and at the same time that we can build up our conditioning and stamina. And then we have to see how it goes. Sometimes you move a little faster than you think. Sometimes maybe you move a little slower than you think, and you have to adjust your pace on that based on once you put a building block down and can build on it, then you do. If that block's not solid and you're really not, you can't build on it, then you have to go back and kind of, reinforce it. Yeah, that's a great thing about being a head coach. I can coach anybody I want. I can coach the line. I can yell at the tight ends. I can yell at the DBs. I can yell at the kickers. I can go to any group I want and coach them. And honestly, that's the fun part. It's, you see something that you want to address and talk to a player about, you can go in there and talk to them. And so I've been very fortunate. I've had the opportunity to coach every position on the field, on offense, defense, and special teams. And so if I can help a player, I'm here to help them. That's my job. So I want to help them get better.
Right here, then Adam Zimmer.
Chris Lee from WRL. So you guys have campaigned that this will be like the 33rd NFL team, just to be very pro-oriented. What former UNC players who are currently pros or have been pros, or if you don't want to name them, what level of involvement do you plan on having with those players who also played here, wore these jerseys, but to come and have relationships with these guys to kind of help along the process of showing, how to become a pro?
Yeah, well, we welcome that. Yeah, thank you. No, that's a great question, a great point. We welcome that. We want, all of our alumni to come back, both football players and non-football players, other people who are part of the program and supporters of the program. So, yeah, we welcome all those people back. I'm sure you'll see a lot of former UNC players around here. Some are on the staff, Natrone, for example. Some are on the staff, some are in other capacities in the organization or at the university, and some will be here visiting. So I don't want to give away any names or anything, but if you guys do some good detective work, maybe you'll be able to spot a couple.
Thank you.
Adam Smith with Inside Carolina. Bill, just wondering from your vantage point what the response from your players have been to the not having numbers on their jerseys in practice, and how have you gone about sort of explaining what the method is there that you all are doing by not having the numbers on the jerseys?
Yeah, it hadn't been a lot of explanation. That's just what we do. We go out there and, we earn it. So the numbers and what color gloves we wear and all that's not as important as doing your job and being responsible and accountable to your teammates and being a good teammate. And so our focus is on the team, and we're just all out there working, practicing, trying to get better. And it's coaches, players, all of us. And so it's not all about individual notoriety right now. It's about trying to put together a team. So we did that at New England. We did it for years and years, and then of course they changed the rule and forced us to put jersey numbers on the players, and so we did. But I don't think that's important at this time of year. I think it's more important to just go out there and practice well and improve every day, and so that's what we emphasize.
Murph, last one.
Brian Murphy with WRL. What characteristics were you looking for as you put together a coaching staff? How important was it to have your sons on the staff with you?
Well, again, it starts with the coordinators, and Steve, Freddie, and Mike have a ton of experience. They've performed well in multiple situations. Certainly, Steve's coached our defense for a long time, and whatever his years as a coach were, he was involved way before that. So, Mike's done a tremendous job on special teams and has a great background. His father is one of the great special teams coaches in the National Football League, Chuck Briefer. So, that goes in the family. And, Freddie's, got great experience. He was Arizona for a decade, head coach at Cleveland, and has been with the Giants and so forth, and, played major college football at Alabama. So, and same thing with Will. So, those guys, they have a lot of experience, and we're just trying to put together the best staff that we can. It's a combination of pro experience. Some of those players, some of those coaches have a lot of college experience. Billy was at IMG last year, which is one of the top high school programs in the country. So, he's been a good addition. But, Garrett from Louisville and Mondo, came in from Washington, has kind of West Coast background. It's a little bit of a mix. But, feel like everybody here, has, can add and has added to our, the overall quality of the coaching staff. But, in some cases bring a different perspective. Ty came over from Arizona. And so that's, just, as part of Jed's staff there, but, gives us another perspective. Certainly has a lot of familiarity with the Arizona-Washington program. So, we just try to put together the best group that we can. I love the guys that we're working with. They work hard, and we're doing all we can to help our team improve and help the players play better, and that's our job. Moses, of course, with the strength conditioning, has been a big part of it so far, because that's really all we've been able to do up until yesterday.
Coach, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.